Yo, my people, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. International break is over, and it's a rare case, but I'm glad it is. You probably know why. I'm going to get into why, because it relates to Arsenal and what we do this weekend, or what we possibly can do this weekend and moving forward. But yeah, hit the like button, people. Make sure you're subscribed. And you are thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm talking about Spain spoken us in our own backyard in a World Cup qualifier. I've had to dust myself off and move forward from that, but hopefully you have too. To be honest, I keep forgetting to delete that watch along because that shouldn't still be up there. Barely a watch along, even though some of the comments are loving it, but you can guess why. Spain 6, Turkey 0. Mikel Merino hat trick. But yeah, it's not about them, it's about Arsenal people. So yeah, here we are. Usually I wait for Mikel Arteta's press conference before I speak on the game, but the game is midday kickoff Saturday and the press conference is not out yet. I assume Friday at some point, today at some point, because I'm recording this very early in the morning, but it'll be out about 24 hours before kickoff. I assume that's when the quotes and stuff will be coming out. But as far as I'm aware, there is no added injuries to the already long injury list through this international break. By that, I mean we're coming out unscathed. But also the news that William Saliba will probably be missing a few weeks, even though Charles Watt said he hasn't heard that. Conflicting reports there, but he came off injured very early on against Liverpool. So, you know, just hope for the best. Hopefully, Charles Watts is right, and that diagnosis of a few weeks is wrong, and he's back sooner rather than later. But I won't expect him back for this Forest game. And to be honest with you, Mosquera, I'm intrigued to see more of him and see what he's really about. Because against Liverpool, when he came on, I thought he had a couple loose touches where it looked like he was going to lose the ball, but his pace and aggression made up for it. And then for the rest of the game, I mean, the remaining 80 minutes or so he had on that pitch, he was pretty much flawless. Not that he had to deal with much. The game wasn't one of those games, but yeah, an intriguing player to say the least. Still very young. So yeah, with Saliba out, hopefully he can step in and step up like the squad depth is meant to do. Where do we start with this one? I'm not too sure. Before we get into it, this video is obviously sponsored. You can see it there, QR code on the screen. I'm going to get into BetMate Fantasy Pot later on in the video, so show them some love if you haven't already. But international break, a lot of stars shining. Odegaard against Moldova, Madueke across both games. Yokera's got an assist. Zubamendi, Marino got a hat trick. I don't really want to talk about that much, but I've got to talk about that. Bittersweet. I say bittersweet. The sweet hasn't come yet, because the sweet would be if he scores a hat trick in an Arsenal shirt, and then we're talking. But right now it's bitter, no sweet. So hopefully the sweet comes next or next week against Man City. You can save it, Mikel. Put those goal scoring boots away for a week, and yeah, we'll have that against Pep. But yeah, a few of our international players have come out not just unscathed as mentioned, but with glowing reports, a goal, an assist, a top performance or two. And on that front, it's looking quite good. So I look at the options Mikel has. Obviously, Havertz is still out injured long term. Saka's still probably a couple weeks away. Saliba's definitely going to be missing this game, regardless of diagnosis or not. What can we do? In my opinion, it's easy. Breyer in goal, Gabriel and Mosquera, the centre back pairing. I think Timber retains his spot at right back, even though I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that Ben White is at least on the bench and gets some game time. Things are awfully quiet surrounding Ben White at the moment. So, yeah, hopefully that's good news rather than bad news. We'll find out. Press conference time, maybe when the squad is selected, definitely. And on the left hand side, I'd actually play Miles Lewis Skelly. Why? Just because I feel like he deserves a start, and why not? Calafiori played during the international break, so did Lewis Skelly as well. But I mean, throughout the season so far, the short season, it's only a month, if that in, just about. Um, Lewis Skelly hasn't had a lot of game time, so this game at home to a Forest side that have just lost to West Ham at Forest 3-0, and then chopped and changed a manager off the back of really and truly personal issues behind the scenes. it's a good time to play them, in my opinion. And I think Lewis Skelly is not a risk. We know this already. You know, all of us were pretty much happy assuming Lewis Skelly was going to start the season our left back. It's just a happy surprise that Calafiori not only started the season at left back, but he's excelled so far in the first few games of the season, and apparently done well for Italy too. Um, in this one, I'd play Miles Lewis Skelly at left back just for game time reasons, not necessarily tactical. I expect us to have a lot of the ball, even though Forest are known for that themselves against the lesser teams. At that, I think that defense should be able to deal with what Forest have in attack. I mean, Indoy this season, did they sign him from Bologna? Definitely Serie A. I want to say Bologna, but that's off the top of my head. I'm sure it's Bologna. But Indoy started the season well, goal and assist across the first few games. So he can be a handful, I guess, but we're at home. New manager, a manager that likes the attack, that might suit Hudson Odoi, Endoy, and Chris Wood. But first game in charge, I don't expect a bounce because it's not like they was in turmoil prior to this manager second. Usually, a manager bounce comes when a team is just getting whooped left, right, and center. They sack their manager, a new one comes in, and you're looking at the next result, a win. Like, where was that over the last few weeks? With Forest, even though they got smoked by West Ham, that was a surprise because West Ham started the season very poorly. The Forest weren't in turmoil, in my opinion. A strong 3-1 win against Brentford the opening day. Chris Wood got a couple goals there, and obviously Ndoye got his goal there on his Premier League debut. And then a 1-1 away draw against Crystal Palace. Listen, that's not a result to be upset about. The West Ham one, I get, but it's hardly turmoil. So I don't expect a new manager bounce. Famous last words that might come back to bite me. We will see. But it wouldn't be the words that do it. Would have to be the makers of our own downfall to be losing this game or drawing this game, in my opinion. I think it's all set up for us to do well and do well handsomely. So yeah, the defense locked in, midfield simple. Zubamendi, Rice, Odegaard. I looked at the way Spain played against both Bulgaria and in full against Turkey, and Pedri was just the key to it all. And now we don't have a Pedri, we have an Odegaard, and we have an Eze. But I doubt Eze will be played centrally for now anyway. So we have an Odegaard. I'd like Mikel and Odegaard to look at what Pedri does for Zubamendi and Marino in the middle over the last couple of games, and just the way he opens it up for them. Zubamendi, to be honest, in that first game against Bulgaria, he was probably the man of the midfield, in my opinion. Then again, I didn't watch the full game. I caught some of it and the highlights, but in the second game, Marino was definitely the man of the midfield with a hat trick and a nice hat trick at that. 3 good finishes. I mean, the second one, low and hard on his weaker foot. The first one stroked it home, and the third one, little deflection, but you know, a nice shot from outside the box. Pain. I was close to booking a trip to Seville in November for Spain versus Turkey, the last group game or the second to last group game. I can't remember. Second to last. Second, one or the other. I'm contemplating, guys. Do I do it? But I guess it's for the love, not the money. But not really talking about money here. For the love of the game. Um, yeah, I'm still considering people. If I do, I'll vlog it. If I don't, watch a long time. And if we get smoked again, yes, I will cut it off early. Don't give a shit. I'm not a professional. This ain't ITV or Sky Sports. This is Turkish LDN. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. So midfield picked itself, but I just would like to see something different. I think I look at Mikel and I think there's a lot of pressure on him from a personal standpoint to not only keep the consistency going. I know we just lost, so what consistency? But I mean, in terms of the unit defensively, the strength, but also build on that. The most difficult part of it all, make the transition smooth, get the attack flowing, creating chances, getting goals, and becoming a threat, getting that fear factor back that we've lost over the last couple of years. I think it's very important we do that. And it's very important we do that now, in my opinion, because after Forest, it doesn't get any easier. City at the Emirates and then Newcastle at St James Park, followed by another London derby against West Ham. So our next four fixtures, I'm looking at them, considering we've already lost a game. And yes, it's just a game, but when you consider how many points are usually required to win the league in this day and age, a game goes a long way. 3 points goes a long way. So we've got to stay pretty much flawless with Liverpool playing Burnley away from home. We expect them to pick up a win this weekend too. So falling any further behind, listen, it won't be a crisis, but it won't be good. That's for sure. So yeah, that would be my midfield, but I expect it to tick a different way. Yeah, let me put it like that. I expect the midfield to be ticking a different way to what we've been seeing in the first few games. Over to you, Mikel, before we get into the attack. BetMate Fantasy Pot Time, people. You know what it is. It's game week 4, so you know what to do. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description. It's single match fantasy, no season long grind. You pick 11 players, only 7 are eligible to play, but you got to back yourself up. And it's stat based scoring, tackles, passes, saves, and obviously goals and assists. Let's get the app open. If you don't have it, scan the QR code. Let's get the app open, people. Let's have a quick check on last week. Why not? Let me just put last week's pot code in there, get the leaderboard up and see who got top prize. Way Gore 1976. But as you can see, Aaron in second, J Bus, and a whole lot more picked up something. Let's look at game week 4. Type in Turkish LDN -04 and let's get into Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest. You can pick 11 players. I'm going straight in with Raya in goal, no messing about. Defense, Gabriel again. No need to mess about there, people. Midfield, Eze makes sense. He's probably going to be playing in attack. Up front, Gyökeres as always. This is the 4th time out of 4 games I'm picking him. But let's put Noni in there as well. Why not? Good international break with England, picked up a goal. So yeah, let's give him the nod. Midfield, Rice is there. Zubimendi. I've picked Zubi twice. I've picked Rice once. I'm gonna go with Rice. Let's even it out. Let's go with Rice in the midfield. And that's my 6 outfield Arsenal players done. I can put a Forest player in Nico Williams, and then fill out the bench. Click save, click join for free. And once you see that green tick, there you go. Once that green tick is on, change is saved. Your team has been picked, people. It's free to play. There's £100 prize pot. So why not? Scan the QR code, click the link in the description. Do what you need to do, people. Free entry, cash pots against real fans. It's not the house, it's not the bookies, it's real fans. It's free to play. Why not? There you go. QR code still there, people. But yeah, I said we're going to get into the attack, and I just want to keep that going from midfield ticking a different way to the attack in turn also ticking a different way because it's needed. I think from midfield to attack, there needs to be a change in the way we move on that pitch. I feel like over the last couple of years, as much as it nearly got us over the line in 23-24, we lost that fear factor in 24-25. And now at the start of 25-26 was, we're grinding, but it needs a bit of oil. That's how I'd say. It needs a bit of oil. The midfield and attack, yeah, it could do with some WD-40, get the squeaks out of them, and I think international break, albeit a lot of our players went away with their national teams. I think international break is a nice reset from the norm. Come back, Mikel, fresh. The players you've worked with good, the players that are coming back. Let's look at this differently now. The season's just started, but it's starting again. And how are we going to approach it now moving forward? 3 home games in the next 4, which is a very big positive considering we need to win. And we're already playing catch up. Yeah, bit of an exaggeration, but 3 points behind is still catch up. So yeah, attack. Is the attack up for debate? I'm not really sure. Madweke for me, he starts on the right. I don't think he was amazing for England, but I think he was good. I think he was a threat. There was times he'd take his eye off the ball and his touch would let him down, but there was times where his first touch was immaculate, taking him across the defender like it did for the goal that he scored, and his finish for the goal he scored was actually nice too. Drew the keeper in and just lifted it over, and Bob's your uncle. It was sweet. So that's nice for him to have his first England goal under his belt. It'd be nice for him to follow that first England goal up with his first Arsenal goal, and I think he'll have opportunities to, especially if we tick a different way. I really, yeah, maybe let me know in the comments. Am I hoping for too much by expecting us to start looking like, we're more of a not attacking team, but there's more of a sweeter balance between the fine art of defending and the need for, you know the finer art of attacking. I think it's well overdue, and I think we are due to see it now. So fingers crossed. Results are all that matter, but performances in the first few games, yeah, I won't say they've been worrying, but I'd say they have been quite stale, and stale means it's been around for a bit too long, out of the fridge, and that's what it feels like so far this season. So yeah, replenish that fridge. International break is the perfect time. So Madweke comes back, spring in his step, goal for England. Saka's out now for a few weeks. Is Madweke on his favoured side, allowed to cut in on his favoured foot? It's all set up for him to shut me up, to shut people like me up. And there was a lot of us. I'm not talking about the people that abused him and signed petitions and all that. That's all nonsense. I'm talking about the people that doubted him, the people that doubt him, the people that think 52 million for him is nonsense, was nonsense, however you're looking at it now. Uh, you know, I still think, there's a lot of proving to do. I mean, I still know there's a lot, it's not even a thought, it's a fact. But it starts against Forest, in my opinion. Should have started against Liverpool, but again, I look at Mikel tactically, and Madueke was probably the one threat we had especially in the first half in particular, where there was very few threats. But yeah, Madueke for me starts on the right. On the left, look at me pretending I'm thinking. Eze, Eza. Sorry, I need to get used to saying Eza. I've been saying Eze for my whole life, for his whole life, for his playing career, and now all of a sudden I'm finding out it's Eza, even though Stricto's telling me that it's actually Eze. But I think I listen to Eza more than I listen to Stricto, so I have to get used to Eza. But I'll be starting Eza on the left hand side without a shadow of a doubt. I think he's better central. I'd love to see him central, but not just now because we didn't get that left wing acquisition, and the left wing needs a bit of spicing up. And I think as much as Eze is not a natural left winger, I think he still has the attributes and strengths to spice it up. So for me, Madweke on the right, Eze on the left, and that's two players that are new to us, and two players that have got a lot to prove for us. And I think either side of another player that's new to us and another player that's got a lot to prove to us, to himself, to the haters, the doubters, is Victor Gyökeres up top, off the back of Sweden's games against Kosovo, and I forgot the first one, but he got an assist in the first one, um, albeit not playing well over the night, over the course of the game. 90, I think he played 90 in the first one for sure. Can't remember the second one. Um, yeah, and he's got a fair few of them haters and doubters about as well. Victor Gyökeres. I think that's a hungry front three, a very hungry front three, and that's what partially excites me about tomorrow. That's what partially excites me about the thought of Mikel opening up a little bit and now allowing that newly formed front three, that fresh, replenished front three to eat. They're hungry, let them eat. They can't eat if you're not serving them dinner. So the midfield have to serve, you know, preferably with a knife and fork. But if it gets messy and you got to use your hands, use your hands. And I'm talking to Noni, Eza, and Gyökeres here. But all in all, we need to be serving, we need to be eating, we need to be enjoying. And primarily that starts with Mikel, but then it's the players out there that need to get it done. So the midfield attack, I'm looking at you guys to show us something different. I believe you can show us something different. I mean, I've seen something different myself over the international break with Zubi, Marino, Odegaard, even most assists across, the European qualifying stages for the World Cup. Yeah, let's get him and Gyökeres ticking like he's seemingly ticking with Haaland and whoever else is scoring over there for Norway. Let's make it happen, Mikel. So that will be my lineup. Let me know if you'll change it up. The only real shock to the system, you could say, is probably Calafiori not starting, Miles Lewis Skelly starting, just to freshen it up a little bit. Calafiori's probably been our best player across the first three games, but at the same time, we know how he is consistency wise, and how many big games are coming up. Why not? Lewis Skelly is also a top player. He can fill in, he can do a job. So aside from that, I think we'd pretty much agree across the board elsewhere with Saliba out, Mosquera goes in, and Timber stays right back without an update on Ben White. And at this moment in time, Arteta's press conference ain't out, people. It might be out by the time this video's out, but if it is, apologies. And if it is what it is. Make sure you are subscribed. This is the only place to catch my match reactions moving forward now. So hit up the like button, as well as making sure you are subscribed. Match reaction after each and every match this season, right here, Turkish LDN TV, YouTube channel, whatever you call it. That's what it is. Yeah, love for the love, people. Make sure you support BetMate as well. If you want to play, free entry, free to play, free pot, £100 up for grabs. Game week 4. Do what you need to do. Scan the QR code, click the link. Peace. I'm out.